Welcome back to my channel. Today is going to be a first impressions of the Milani Conceal and Perfect 2-in-1 foundation and concealer. I mentioned in a haul that I got 3 different shades. Let me show you them really quick. So 00 Light Natural was the lightest one I found at the drugstore, and then I ordered 00A and 00B from the website. I probably should have gone with 00A this morning. I went with 00B at the last minute, and in natural lighting, it looks way too yellow on my skin, and it's not exactly dark. I think if it was less yellow, it probably would look fine, but when I was putting it on under my makeup mirror, it looked fine, and then I went into the bathroom where there's more natural light, and it just doesn't even match my neck. So I think 00A is the one I should have gone with. So this is from Milani. You get 1 ounce of product, and I will list the price information down below. This is supposed to be like, I assume full coverage because it says foundation plus concealer. And it really wasn't for me, honestly. It was kind of like streaky and patchy when I put it on. I only put it on with a brush. I used my Mark Face 3 brush, and it was just like patchy and streaky, but once I got it all kind of settled on my face and then powdered it, it looks fine. It's a little bit drying. I have like some dry patches in really weird spots that I'm not normally dry in, and I know what I was gonna say. Like right here, it's already creased and it's like dry. I don't have dry skin right here. It's really strange. So underneath it, I used the Ordinary primer. I can't remember the name of it. I'm not gonna repurchase it, so I haven't really like committed the name to memory. The High Adherence Silicone Primer. And I also use my Supergoop CC Cream over the primer. I use a lot of hydrating products underneath my foundation, so I even use a moisturizer before the primer. So I just need to lock in all the moisture. My skin is dehydrated, but it's never dry. Like, I'm usually oily, and keeping my skin moisturized kind of helps keep the oil balanced, I've noticed. So I'm just really baffled as to why I have like a dry spot. It's so weird. So I am going to come back in a few hours and show you how it looks. I have my RMS setting powder over this, which I use with all foundations, so that shouldn't really affect like my thoughts on the foundation. Like, that's what I would do. I think I could have probably not set it, maybe, because my skin is looking kind of dry. It's kind of weird that it's dry, but yeah, I will check back in a few hours. Hey everyone, so it is, let me think. So the last time I recorded was about 7:15, and it's now 1:30, so that's a little over 6 hours. Just gonna get a little bit closer. So the foundation does not look terrible. I think that the oils in my skin have like seeped through and like made the dryness a little bit better, if that makes sense. That being said, my face actually felt dry today. Like, I found myself like, oh, Zoe! I felt like my face was actually a little bit itchy, but not in, not like it's reacting to the foundation, but like it was dry. I honestly think I needed to do the lighter color, which is Porcelain, but I really feel like that would have been too light. That's so pale, but maybe I would need to mix Porcelain and Light. If I mix those two together, this is the light shade that I found at the drugstore, which you can see that's very yellow. This is 00 Light Natural. But I think these two together would be fine, because this Porcelain has much more of a neutral undertone than the light. I think those together would be better. As far as the coverage, applying it with a brush did not give me full coverage. I'll have to go and look. Actually, I was looking at the bottle, I was like, what did it say about the coverage? It says medium to full coverage, lightweight, oil-free foundation, long-wearing, water-resistant, and sweat-proof. I haven't been sweating. My face has not gotten wet. I wonder if you can hear that. Hey baby, what you doing? I have to record when the cat is outside, and I left the door open, so now I can hear all the yard noise and she's come in. Whenever I record, I think she thinks I'm talking to her, and so she gets really antsy and she tries to talk back to me. I don't think you can see her. Okay, so I would say medium coverage. I don't know if it's buildable. I'm gonna try it again tomorrow and update you on how I apply it tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm going to try a beauty blender, a damp beauty blender. I might use my Mikasa beauty one because I haven't used that one in a long time. I just don't know if it's clean. But I would say yes, it's medium to full coverage. I do not feel like this looks like, it says it's foundation plus concealer. In my mind, this is not what that would look like to me, I guess. I don't have a lot of spots to conceal right now anyways, which is great. So I don't know what it would look like if I had spots that I needed concealer on. Long wearing, I mean, this is a little over 6 hours. I think it looks good for 6 hours. It really hasn't broken down. I need to get my mirror. It really hasn't broken down any. There's some creasing around my mouth. My skin just looks drier than it normally does. Like if I were to compare this with the Wet n Wild foundation that I tried recently, this does not hold a candle to that. So there's that. I just think it's okay. I hope that it looks better with a damp beauty blender. So tomorrow I will update you on that. And I hope that this method of trying out the foundation is okay because I mean, sometimes I don't have time to include all my thoughts into a video and record it in one day. And I thought it would be fun to kind of take you along and show you like from day to day whenever I try out makeup. So I hope that's okay. It's kind of a new way to do things. So I will continue this tomorrow when I've applied it with a damp beauty blender. Welcome back. Today is the next day and I look decidedly different. I got my hair done yesterday, so it's always straight the next day. So like I said, I tried the Milani foundation again this morning. I combined the 00A and the 00B, and it's a much better match. The only thing is, I fake tanned last night, and now it actually looks like there's a shadow on my neck instead of like it always being reversed, like my neck's always lighter and my face is always darker, like naturally. Now, I don't look like I match here, but actually, like in the mirror and light in the light of the bathroom, I look fine, but I probably shouldn't have mixed this today because the 00B light was so yellow yesterday. I think it would match me with just this one layer of fake tan. And I plan on fake tanning again tonight, so I'm hoping that the 00 Light Natural will match me better tomorrow. So I thought it was a little silly that I had 3 different colors of this foundation, but it might end up working out for me. So yeah, I applied it with a wet beauty blender today. It applied so much better. When I used the brush, I'll show you what I used. I always use my Marc Jacobs, the Phase 3 brush. It's a really dense buffing brush. It needs to be cleaned obviously because I used it yesterday. It was so streaky. I have some foundations that go on really pretty with this buffing brush, but then others I just have to use a damp beauty blender. I didn't end up getting my Mikasa beauty one out because it's like packed away with all my extra brushes. So I just used what I had out and it applied so much better. It doesn't look dry, it doesn't look patchy, it didn't look streaky when I was applying it. It was just like a really easy application. So far I'm loving it. And I will be checking back in today because we will be outside quite a bit, and I thought it would be useful to see how it wears when I'm outside more. Since we're getting into spring and summer, or we're in spring, we're getting into summer, you know, I'm outside more, and I don't, like, I wear makeup during the summer, but also I'm not gonna choose to wear a makeup that looks bad while I'm outside, if that makes sense. So I just want to see how it wears to see if it's a summer option. So I will check back in a few hours. Hey, so I last recorded at about 8:30 and it is now 5 o'clock. So it has been 8.5 hours and I am really impressed with how this has held up. It held up a lot better than it did yesterday, and I think it's probably because of the way I applied it. I also used a different powder, but I don't think the powder really had anything to do with it. I just wanted to mention that I used a different powder. It's basically just like a translucent powder, just like what I used yesterday. But it was a pressed one. Yesterday was a loose one. But yeah, aside from the color not being right now for my fake tan, like really pale and really golden, you know, it's great. I still had really weird dryness around my mouth, like right here. It was like really weird dry patches. So I don't enjoy that part of the foundation, but as far as like it holding up while I was outside, it's great. I didn't have a lot of creasing. Like I always have creasing under my eyes. That happens no matter what. And in between my eyebrows, because I like do that a lot. So just usually pat that out a little bit. But I think that aside from the fake tan that does not look good, I'll probably use like the darkest shade that I have tomorrow to see how well that looks. I'm also kind of thinking about not fake tanning tonight. I don't know. I might like skip a day and then use the darker one tomorrow and then go from there. We'll see. I don't know. But overall, I really like this. I definitely have other foundations that I like a little bit better, but it was a lot better with the wet beauty blender. So there's that. The color difference is like really noticeable right now. I did a really bad job up here with the fake tan. I did a really bad job everywhere with the fake tan, honestly. I was hoping to like even it out. My elbow was awful. Overall, I really like it. It's a great foundation as long as I apply it with a wet beauty blender. I think if you have problems with dryness, you would probably want to apply it with a wet beauty blender. I don't think that a brush would work very well. That's just my opinion. So I hope you enjoyed this first impressions of the Milani Concealer Foundation, and I will see you in my next video. Bye everyone.